now describing as a mid-foot sprain. Not ideal for a big, physical running back the way that Chris Carson runs. If he can't play, then Carlos Hyde would step in and fill that role. And Jacksonville Jaguars running back Raquel Armstead is not expected to play again this season due to being hospitalized twice, suffering multiple complications from his bout with coronavirus. He's been on the COVID list twice, 2 different times. And while many players have bounced right off the reserve COVID-19 list, that has not been the case this season with Raquel Armstead. There may not be a player in football who's been more affected this season than this particular player. And a couple other Jaguar notes: they activated Aaron Lynch and placed D.D. Westbrook on injured reserve today.
All right, we will see you, Adam Schefter, with the Monday Night Countdown crew. That coming your way on ESPN at 6 Eastern. Thanks for being with us here.
Thank you.
And the Cardinals showed the fighting spirit last night, trailing by as many as 10 in the second half. And Dan Orlovsky, we pick it up with about 38 seconds left in the game, and Cardinals down by 3. Kyler Murray able to take it by himself.
A great use of the quarterback draw, but watch Fitz. Like, this is huge because look at the clock. The clock is going to be the enemy right now. Every second matters when you're trying to get down there, and getting the ball back to the official and spotted is huge. Now, this is Edmonds running the ball. Now, look at Fitz coming again. Now, watch Chase Edmonds and how far behind he is. That's a difference of 3 or 4 seconds right there. Fitz's hustle gets the ball spiked at 2 seconds left. Without that game never comes down to this kick.
Zane Gonzalez with a chance for redemption, and he gets just that after missing one before that from 44 yards out. We're headed to overtime. The Seahawks with the ball at 2nd and 10. Russell Wilson with an opportunity, but a pick by Isaiah Simmons, the Clemson product, able to get that one and just dropping straight back like he knew exactly what was coming. Dan is going to break down that exact moment and why it was so important a little bit later. So the Cardinals able to take the possession. A few plays later, Gonzalez with a chance to win it. He does just that, nails it from 48 yards out, and the Cardinals win 37-34 in overtime, handing Seattle their first loss of the season. I'm sorry, Mina. She looked very sad over there. We'll hear from you in a moment. But Dan, the unsung hero of the game was on the Cardinals sideline last night. How did their D coordinator Vance Joseph put his fingerprints in the outcome?
Yeah, you used the phrase unsung hero, and it's perfect because the way that he fooled one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, Russell Wilson, was so impressive. It's a 3-play sequence. I want everyone to see 7 people up at the line of scrimmage. Those DBs are off at about 10 yards each because that pressure is coming. Now, Seattle's got 7 guys protecting and still can't get home. Russell Wilson feels it, throws it away. Very next play, they're going to show you the same exact look. 7 guys up again. Now there's that cat and mouse game. The DBs are about 10 yards off again. Russell Wilson's thinking, all right, here comes that same pressure again. Got to get the ball out. Whack! Incompletion. Very next play, Vance Joseph goes, all right, here it comes. I'm going to show you the 7 guys up. Russell Wilson's going, all right, here comes that all-out pressure. I got to get this ball out of my hands super quickly. But what Vance Joseph does is goes, nope, I'm going to drop 4 guys out from the line of scrimmage and not blitz. Russell Wilson, catch throw. Oh, I did not have any idea that Isaiah Simmons was going to be the blowout dropper there, and that results into that interception. Vance Joseph was great. I'll show you something on 1st down. I'll show you something on 2nd down. 3rd down, I'm thinking, same thing's coming. It's worked 2 plays in a row, and Vance Joseph goes, I'm a step ahead, and he fooled the best playing quarterback, at least the hottest quarterback in the NFL right now.
You're so right to single out that sequence, Dan, because the contrast between what you saw there from the Cardinals defense and then what you saw from the Seahawks defense on the final 2 drives that led to field goals really proved to be the difference in the game. I mean, Russell Wilson, he's probably not going to make those kinds of mental mistakes again, per se. But the stat you're hearing all day is that Seattle only pressured Kyler once on 48 dropbacks. We know that pass rush is basically non-existent. Some of that was intentional, by the way. They were trying to just keep him in front because they were so afraid of him taking off. But what bothered me so much watching Seattle on the final 2 drives was that you just saw nothing from them. They softened up. It was like they didn't acknowledge the fact that all Arizona needed was a field goal. They were letting him throw, short passes in front of them. They were keeping the ball in front of them. Meanwhile, on the other side of the football, you saw some creativity from an Arizona defensive line that's not more talented than Seattle. They just outcoached them, as you described. It came down to the creativity of the play calling, not the talent.
Okay, y'all, picture this, and this might be so far left field, but let me make the caveat first. This is why we talk about Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, and guys like we do for these particular situations. And Seattle missed Jadeveon Clowney last night. And I'm going to tell you, because when you're in these 2-minute situations, we had a guy when I was in Dallas, DeMarcus Ware, go get the quarterback. Make him get off of his spot, change up the play, make the quarterback uncomfortable on every single throw. And when you don't have that guy, and we've talked about it. We talked about it with Jadeveon going into the Steelers game. He doesn't bring guys to the ground with the sack numbers. But the one thing Jadeveon does is pressures the quarterback from an individual standpoint. And Seattle did not have that guy last night for that particular situation. That was the first time that I thought about, okay, he asked for a tremendous amount of money, obviously, and they didn't want to pay him that. But when you look at those particular situations, that's exactly the guy you need, is to get guys off the spot. So that's the first thing that came to mind when Kyler was dealing it. Kyler might have evaded anyway and ran for some yards, but you have to have, hey, NFL teams, you have to have a player to get quarterbacks off the spot when they are trying to make a drive to either tie the game or win the football game. And Seattle had that in Jadeveon Clowney, and they didn't have it last night because he's in Tennessee now.
Go real fast.
They had that guy. He was just on the sidelines. It's Jamal Adams. He's been their best pass rusher up till this point. No, I know that's not sufficient. I know. I'm just saying, if Jamal Adams was in the football game, that's who they would have sent on one of those downs. On one of those downs. Okay, and look, I hope they trade for someone. I hope they do. I'm just saying.
Jamal Adams out due to injury, so whenever he comes back, maybe they at least fill some of that void. Marcus, it's time to talk about some big men and how they were balling. It's time for Big Man Ballin'. What do you got for us today?
Okay, people, listen. Sometimes there will be a situation in Big Man Ballin' where one play a big man makes all the other plays big men made all weekend void. And that play happened. Now you ask Marcus, how in the hell does a wide receiver get on Big Man Ballin'? Because he looked like he's 6'7", 300 pounds, and he runs a 4.2. That is DK Metcalf tracking down Buda Baker on that interception. I know you all saw it. My direct tweet was, ain't nobody tell me DK Metcalf was from Wakanda, where Black Panther was raised, because they were known for speed, known for size, and being able to do tremendous things. That's what we saw from DK Metcalf. Now, people, listen. There will be very few times a receiver makes big man balling. But anytime DK Metcalf does something special, he breaks the mold. He is a big man who balls a lot, but in this particular situation, he made every other big man play null and void for the weekend. DK Metcalf, you made big man balling, big dog.
Over 22 miles per hour for DK Metcalf. Wow. Okay, but how about this? Another poor performance from Cam Newton has us asking some questions. Will the Pats need to make some changes?